Yo, what's going on out there in them digital streets? This your player partner Watt checking in, and this is the Dropbox, and let's get into it. Yes, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into this topic. Yeah, man, so if you've been paying attention to the internet, you will have noticed that Aaliyah's One in a Million album, which debuted in 1996, has come to streaming services. And this is coming on the heels of the 25th anniversary. On the 27th of this month, it'll make 25 years since the album originally released on August 27th, 1996. And the fans out here are rejoicing to have, some Aaliyah content on streaming services. And there's an actual rollout where they're going to release sequential albums going forward. But that's something that I want to talk about today with the family, man. I want to talk about having your affairs in order and why this situation is a teachable moment. Now, we all know the story of Aaliyah. She was a young girl, signed a record deal, got introduced to R. Kelly. He writes her first album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. When we go back and look at that situation in hindsight, I know people are in disgust by the arrangement her and R. Kelly had together, but what's even more disturbing is the fact that her uncle, which was her manager at the time, signed her to a record deal where he owns all of the rights to the master recordings. And this situation is a great example of why you need to own your masters, because what you don't want is someone having control over your intellectual property and they get to decide and dictate where said property goes and who gets what. So in essence, they are the gatekeeper of your music. And that really brings me to a point that I want to highlight. And the point that I want to bring up is this. When you are creating anything from scratch, be it intellectual property or a business, or just anything that's going to generate money into perpetuity, you definitely want to have control or ownership over said property. The biggest issue that I have with people that wake up and go and work a 9 to 5 is that you give someone your labor, right? And in turn they give you an advance on the work that you've done. But the only problem with that is that work makes a company or a business dollars into perpetuity. And that's how we end up where we are. And it's really an unfortunate situation because the family of Aaliyah, they don't get to recoup or reap the benefits of the intellectual property that she created. And that's very unfortunate. And it's something that's not just unique to her situation. You can go all the way back to Cadillac Records, and niggas were selling their masters for a damn car, and even today, 360 deals. And that kind of brings me into my next point is, we have to have our affairs in order. And it doesn't matter if you're an entertainer or athlete or you're just someone on a daily grind 9 to 5. You have to decide before you leave this earth who's gonna get what and who's gonna benefit from what. And you have to take a real long, hard look at the people around you. And you have to be honest. You have to be unbiased and honest. And you have to make those decisions while you're alive. Even more so, you have to tell these niggas, goddamn, why you still alive, and right there in front of them, look, this what it is. This is how I'm going to divvy this up. You're going to get X, Y, and Z, and that's the end of it, while you're still alive. And I think that is attributed to just our introduction into American society. Kind of coming from a place where you have nothing, and every time you turn around, someone is taking something or kind of knocking you down or subjugating you to the bottom when it comes to the quality of life. You kind of get in the habit of, I'm never going to have nothing, so everything that I'm doing is I'm living in the moment. So at no point in time am I thinking about leaving something behind for my legacy to build off of, leaving something behind for a legacy. It's just that I'm here for this. I'm here for this good time, and when I'm gone, then everything resets back to zero. And that brings me full circle. You know, it's very unfortunate that Aaliyah passed so early, because I think if she was still alive, what's going on with her record label situation and just with the albums, I think it would be a lot different. I think she would have had to take this nigga to court, but she would have her masters and her content would be on streaming services. And more importantly, like, when we look at this situation, we have to understand that she was around a bunch of motherfucking predators. Like, goddamn, my nigga, like, who steals the masters from a 15-year-old? Nigga, what is you doing? You know, motherfuckers will say this is business, but what kind of fucking business is this? Like, you can do good business. Like, like, niggas like, nah, this shit cutthroat. Nah, like, that's not cool. But yeah, I hope that everybody, like, they do get the situation squared away and everybody is able to come from this and it just end on a good note. You know, the families and everybody involved, man, because that's what the music is for. It's there to, you know, inspire fans, but more importantly, it's there for people to take care of their families. But what say you? Come kick it with your tribe in the comment section below and share your thoughts and we can have a conversation about it. And on that note, I'm out the box with it. Do you hear me?